Bismillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul uqdatan min lisani yafqahu qawli. Rabbi yassir wa la tuwassir wa tammim bil khair. Lesson number 2. In this lesson, we will learn about laysa, that means is not. Then more about the word ibnun, that means the son or son. And then we will learn more about inna. Let's see about laysa. Laysa is a past verb but gives the meaning of present. So something very important that we need to know, that laysa is a past tense. That's number one. And number two, we need to know that laysa does not have the present tense. So it's only used as past tense. However, it gives the meaning of the present. It is used with a nominal sentence to complete its meaning, and it requires a subject, which is mubtadaun, and predicate, which is khabarun, to complete the meaning. And when laysa is used with a nominal sentence, the subject is called ismu laysa and the predicate is called khabaru laysa. So it's very important verb. Also, one more thing we need to know, that it is called al-ismul manqus, al-fi'l al-manqus, a defective verb. And why it is called defective verb? Because it cannot communicate the meaning by itself. That's why it needs ismu laysa and khabaru laysa. For example, we say dhahaba bilalun, Bilal went, the meaning is clear. Kharaja bilalun, Bilal left, the meaning is clear. But if we say laysa bilalun, Bilal is not. So now it's not clear. Like when you say laysa bilalun, Bilal is not. So now what we need to say, we need to complete the verb. So we will say, or we have to complete the sentence. So we will say, Laysa Bilalun mudarrisan. Bilal is not a teacher. Now the meaning is clear. So that's why it's called a defective verb, or al-fi'l al-manqus, defective verb. So it's very, very important to know. And that's why it always needs ismu laysa and khabaru laysa. And it's basically from the sisters of kana. We have kana wa akhawatuha. So we have learned in the previous lesson inna wa akhawatuha, and now we will learn about kana wa akhawatuha. So this is one of the sisters of kana. The sentence, for example, al-kitabu jadidun, the book is new. Al-kitabu is mubtadaun and jadidun is khabarun, subject and predicate. But when we say laysa al-kitabu bi jadidin, the book is not new. So laysa is fail, as we can see. Al-kitabu, it was subject, but now it changes into ismu laysa. And jadid, basically jadidun will be khabaru laysa. However, there is an addition of ba, harf jar ba, as we can see over here. So it's harfu jarrin zaidun. Laysa al-kitabu bi jadidin, the book is not new. Now, a very important point about this harf jar ba, when we talk about the modern standard Arabic, or when we talk about min ghayri al-Quran, other than the Quran, then we will say harfu jarrin zaidun. This is extra ba over here. But when we talk about the Quran, as we know that there is nothing that is zaid or extra in the Quran when we talk about grammatical sense. So grammatically, we will say that this is harfu jarrin zaidun, but in Quran, it is called harfu tawkidin. It is used for the purpose of emphasis. So whenever you see the combination of laysa, and after laysa, we have ismu laysa and khabaru laysa, if there is harf jar ba connected to it, that means that is harf tawkid, that is used for the purpose of emphasis and not for, or not to say harfu jarin zaidun. For example, in Surah Tin, we have alaysa Allahu bi ahkamil hakimin. Alaysa Allahu, so we have hamzatul istifham, then we have laysa, and ismul jalala will be ismu laysa, and bi ahkamil hakimin, bi ahkam will be khabaru laysa. But then harf ja, we will say this harf ba at-tawkid wa laysa az-zaida. So I hope inshallah it's clear now. Okay, so now let's look at the conjugation of laysa. And if you remember in book 1, we have learned the conjugation of dhahaba. the past tense, and we have learned dhahaba, and we have learned the whole conjugation. For example, dhahaba, dhahaba, dhahabu, dhahabat, dhahabata, and dhahabana. You might have noticed that I have written over here track 1 and track 2. So the conjugation of the verb, as when we talk about the past tense, it's like the 2 tracks of the train. So the train, like it starts moving from track number 1. So we say dhahaba, dhahaba, dhahabu, dhahabat, dhahabata. And when it reaches form number 6, for example, this is 1, 2, then we have 3, right? And 4, 5. And when it reaches form number 6, now the change takes place. What's the change that takes place over here? We can see that here the second letter is mutaharrik. Ha has fatha, dhahaba, dhahaba, dhahabu. And similarly, the third letter is also mutaharrik. So ba is mutaharrik, ba is mutaharrik. Also here it is mutaharrik up to number 5. But when you reach number 6, ba becomes sakin. Can you see over there? So the third kalima, which becomes sakin. So that means from here, the second track of the train has started. So it will be dhahabna. It's not dhahabana, it's dhahabna. So what happened? The first letter is mutaharrik, the second letter is mutaharrik, but the third one has become sakin. So that's why I call it the second track of the train. And if you remember, I told you that if you're able to memorize the conjugation of one verb like dhahaba, which we did in book number 1, that means you can memorize the conjugation. Based on this pattern, you can memorize the conjugation of all the verbs in Arabic language. So it's like one-time investment. If you memorize one conjugation, based on that, you can make all the conjugations that you can see over here. So track 2 starts from number 6, dhahabna, and then after that, it continues, and you will see that the third letter will always be sakin, so starting from number 6 or track 2. dhahabna, dhahabta, dhahabtuma, dhahabtum, dhahabti, dhahabtuma, dhahabtunna, dhahabtu, and dhahabna. Okay, now we, on the same pattern, let's do the conjugation of laysa. So we have laysa, laysa, laysu. Same, dhahaba, dhahaba, dhahabu. Laysa, laysa, laysu. Laysat, laysata, and then lesna. So number 6 here, because we have the weak letter over here, which is ya. Please remember that there are 2 weak letters in Arabic, waw and ya. And whenever we have the weak letters, so many changes will take place. Inshallah, when we learn in detail, in lesson number 25, 26, we will see that there will be so many changes that will take place. However, here we need to know lesna, how it has changed from how it has become lesna. So it's basically the original form is laysa plus noon at-tanith, which is used for, or noon an-niswa, I should say, sorry. Noon an-niswa, this is the noon of the feminine, okay, for feminine plural. So laysa plus na becomes laysna, laysna. Now what happens over here? We have iltiqa'u sakinain. That means we have the meeting of 2 letters that are sakin. Ya is sakin and sin is sakin. Ya is sakin and sin is sakin, and it's not possible in Arabic language to have 2 letters that are sakin together. It's not possible. So now what we have to do, we have to drop 1 letter. And please remember, whenever we have 2 letters, one is weak letter and one is the regular, the weak letter will always be dropped. So we know that ya is the weak letter. So when we drop it, it becomes lesna, as we can see over here, lesna. And then we continue the conjugation from lesna. We are on track number 2. And based on this pattern, you can complete the rest of the 6 forms, or I should say 8 forms. So lesna, and then we have lesta, lestuma, lestum, lesti, lestuma, lestunna, lestu, and lesna. So that's what we need to know, like how to conjugate, because we have started verb in book 1 already. We have memorized the conjugation of dhahaba, and now you have to memorize one conjugation of laysa, which is very, very important. And we have seen that it's a past tense, but it gives the meaning of present. And similarly, sometimes ba is connected to a khabru laysa, which makes it more emphatic. And this is the conjugation that we have to memorize. Ad-darsu al-thani, lesson number 2. Hishamun, Hisham. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Hisham, may Allah's peace, mercy, and blessings be on you. Bilalun, Bilal. Wa alaykum assalamu. We know that meme is sakin. And whenever we connect meme with al, meme is always connected with dhamma. Generally, we connect sakin with kasra, but meme has a special rule. Whenever you connect meme with sakin, it is always connected with dhamma. Wa alaykum assalamu wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. كيف حالك يا أخي? How are you, oh my brother? Manil akh. Okay, so let's see over here. May Allah's peace, mercy, and blessings be on you. How are you, oh my brother? Manil akh. Who is the brother? Now we can see over here that man means who, and man is sakin, and when we connect sakin with al, we connect it with kasra. Generally, we connect with kasra, but when we connect meme with al, we connect it with dhamma. When we say manil akh, it's a polite way of asking a stranger who he is. So if you see a stranger for the first time and you don't know who that person or who that person is, so you will say manil akh or manil ukht, depends on the person. So manil akh, it is a polite way of asking a stranger who he is. Hishamun ana mudarrisun jadidun bil jamiati. I am a new student. I'm a new teacher in the university. Now, if you look at the preposition ba, you will see that it has lots of uses, and I think it's the most frequently used preposition in the Arabic language. So we have seen that ba comes with khabaru laysa, and it makes it more like emphatic. And similarly, when you talk about the place where you live or the place where you work, then for the place we also use harf jar ba. We have seen that it also means in or with. For example, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Similarly, when you talk about laysa, ismu laysa, and khabaru laysa, we have ba connected to that. And now when you talk about the place where you live or the place where you study, and then we also use the preposition of ba. Please note it down because ba has several uses. Ana subject, مدرس predicate, المنعوت وجديد النعت or مصوف صفة بالجامعة in the university. اسمي هشام, my name is Hisham. اسمي مضاف مضاف إليه plus subject, and هشام will be predicate. أنا من الولايات المتحدة. I am from the United States of America. ولايات المتحدة, United States of America. بلال أهلا وسهلا ومرحبا بك يا أخي. Welcome to you, oh brother. And now you can see again that when you welcome someone, also you use the preposition of ba. So you see one more use of ba. So ahlan wa sahlan wa marhaban bika ya akhi. And inshallah, when we start learning the verbs, I will explain it to you. Like ahlan wa sahlan wa marhaban, also these are complete sentences. And as you know that this is lughatul hadf, so something has been omitted in the beginning of ahlan, and similarly in the beginning of sahlan, and similarly something in the beginning of marhaban has been omitted. Ya akhi, oh my brother. Ana masrurun biliqa'ik. I am happy to meet you. One more use of harf jar ba. So sarra yasurru, it comes with the preposition of ba. So ana masrurun biliqa'ik. I'm happy to meet you. So now you can see that on only in 2 sentences, we have 3 uses of preposition ba. Ana zamiluka, I am your colleague. Ana subject, zamiluka mudaf mudaf ilayh predicate. Ismi Bilal ibn Hamidin. My name is Bilal ibn Hamid. So now we can see over here that kalima Bilal, few things that you need to know. Number 1, when it comes between 2 definite nouns, when it comes between alamain, because Bilal is definite noun and Hamid is definite noun, and then the Hamza is dropped. That's number 1. So the first thing that you can see, Hamza is dropped. Number 2, whenever it comes between 2 definite nouns, for the first noun, it becomes sifa. So now we can see that Bilal is Mawsuf and Ibn is sifa. Or in easy words, you can say that it carries the same ending, which is the ending of the noun that comes before it. So if the noun before this has dhamma, it will take dhamma. If it has fatha before it, then it will take fatha. And if it has the noun before it has kasra, then it will take kasra. Why? Because it is being used as sifa. So we know mawsuf and sifa are equal in capacity, status, number, and gender. So in this case, we have ismi is subject and Bilal ibn Hamidin is predicate. So my name is Bilal ibn Hamid. And we know that the kalima ibnun is used as mudaf. So for the second noun, it will be used as mudaf. So Hamid is mudaf ilayh. So that's why it is majroor, as we can see here. So ismi Bilal ibn Hamidin. My name is Bilal ibn Hamid. Once again, when ibn comes between two nouns, and these must be two definite nouns, then it carries the same ending, which has the ending of the first noun, and it will be used as mawsuf, sifa. So the first noun that comes before it is mawsuf, and this is sifa, and the noun that comes after it will always be used as mudaf ilayh. So my name is Bilal ibn Hamid. In the Quran, we have ذَلِكَ Isa ibn Maryam. So ذَلِكَ Isa ibn Maryam. So inshallah, whenever you look, whenever you're reciting the Quran, you will see that whenever it comes between Isa and Maryam alayhi salam, whenever it comes between these two nouns, then it will always be without Hamzatul Wasl, and also it will have the same ending or the same case ending as it has the case ending of Isa alayhi salam. Amin Washington anta ya Hishamu. Are you from Washington, oh Hisham? So the translation is over there. It's for us for the purpose of like as a reference. So in case we didn't get the idea, we can have a look at the translation, and then we can go by it. I'm pleased to meet you. I'm your colleague. My name is Bilal ibn Hamid. Are you from Washington, oh Hisham? Hishamun, la, no. Ana lastu min Washington. I'm not from Washington. So how do we get the meaning of I'm not? Ana lastu. So when you do the conjugation of laysa, 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 laysu, and you go to the 13th form, it will be lastu. Ana lastu min Washington. I'm not from Washington. Inni, indeed I am. Min New Yorker, from New York. So we know that inni ya al-mutakallim will be isma inna, and min New Yorker will be khabaru inna. And similarly, in lastu, when we say lastu, so basically ta over here is ismu laysa, and min Washington will be khabaru laysa. And here inni min New Yorker, ya al-mutakallim will be ismu inna, and min New Yorker will be khabaru inna. And we know that New York is the name of the city, and all the cities are mamnu min as-sarf. That's why it does not accept kasra. Here it is basically majroor, right? But it does not accept kasra because it's the name of the city. Bilalun, Bilal, a Muslimun abuka ya Hishamu. Is your father Muslim, O Hisham? Hishamun, la huwa laysa bi Muslimin. No, he is not a Muslim. Now, huwa is the subject, then we have laysa, and then we have be Muslimin. So laysa, now we will say that whatever we have, like the hidden damir or the hidden pronoun in laysa, that will be ismu laysa, and be Muslimin will be khabaru laysa. No, he is not a Muslim. And here, because it's not from the Quran, it's regular Arabic, so we will say this is ba zaid. But when it is in the Quran, then we will say this is ba of emphasis. So Hisham says, La huwa laysa bi Muslimin. No, he is not a Muslim. And we know that ba is harf jar, and that's why the noun that the noun that comes after this will be majroor. Bilalun wa ummuka a muslimatun hiya, and your mother, is she a Muslim? So we know that when we talk about feminine noun ummuk, then we have to use the feminine noun. So he says wa ummuka a muslimatun hiya, and your mother, is she a Muslim? Hishamun, la hiya laysat bi muslimatin. And no, she is not a Muslimah, or she is not a Muslim. In English, we can say both Muslimah or Muslim. So again, la hiya laysat. So when you do the conjugation of laysa, it will be laysa, laysa, laysu, laysat. Hiya laysat bi muslimatin. She is not a Muslim. Bilalun, alaka abna'un ya Hishamu. Do you have sons, O Hisham? And now you can see that laka is jar majroor, and jar majroor cannot be subject. It is always predicate. So this is predicate, and abnaun is the subject. Do you have sons, oh Hisham? So Hishamun, naam, yes. Li sittatu abna'in. I have 6 sons. So now we can see over here that li is jar majroor, and it is in the beginning of the sentence. So it is predicate, and sittatu abna'in will be the subject. So he says, yes, I have 6 sons. Bilalun, atullabun hum, are they students? Very simple sentence. Atullabun hum, are they students? Hishamun, la hum laysu bitullabin. No, they are not students. Now you can see that laysa, laysu. So hum is the subject and laysu is the predicate. And we know that subject and predicate are equal in number, number and gender. So hum is, it means they, and laysu means also they. So that's why this is a subject and this is predicate. We know that the verb can be predicate, but then when the verb is predicate, it should be equal to the subject. So if it is huwa, it will be laysa. And if it is huma, it will be laysa. And if it is hum, it will be laysu. La hum laysu bitullabin. No, they are not students. Inna ba'dahum, indeed some of them. And we know that after inna, the noun will be mansub. So that's why it will be ba'dahum. And we know that kalima ba'd is also used as mudaf. So ba'd will be mudaf and hum will be mudaf ilayhi. Inna ba'dahum tujjarun. Indeed, some of them are merchants. Wa ba'dahum muhandisuna. And some of them are engineers. Now, why do we say ba'dahum here? Because we know we have waw al-atf. So the noun that comes before waw al-atf will have the same ending as the noun that comes after it. Inna ba'dahum. So ba'dahum will be ismu inna, and we know ismu inna is always mansub, and tujjarun is khabaru inna, and khabaru inna is always marfu'. So that's why we say tujjarun. Inna ba'dahum tujjarun wa ba'dahum muhandisuna. Indeed, some of them are merchants and some of them are engineers. Bilalun, Bilal, alaka banatun. Do you have daughters? So again, we have alaka banatun. Laka will be jar majroor, predicate, and banatun will be the subject, mubtadaun. Hishamun, naam. Yes, li khamsu banatin. Yes, I have 5 daughters. Again, we can see that li is jar majroor in the beginning of the sentence. So it will be predicate, and khamsu banatin will be the subject. And we know that the numbers from 3 to 10, I hope you don't forget, and the numbers from 3 to 10 are opposite in gender. So bintun is feminine, and that's why the number that is being used is for the masculine. It does not have the marbuta. So he says, yes, I have 5 daughters. Bilalun mutazawwijatun hunna. Are they married? Mutazawwijatun, and the plural is mutazawwijatun. Mutazawwijatun hunna. Hunna, in fact, hunna, are they married? Hishamun, la hunna lasna bimutazawwijatin. No, they are not married. Now, the reason why I always want you to and encourage you to memorize the conjugation, because the conjugation always helps us a lot. For example, laysa, laysa, laysu, laysat, laysata, lasna. So we know that after hunna, we have to use lasna. Hunna is the subject and lasna is predicate. Hunna lasna bimutazawwijatin. Hisham says, no, they are not married. And this is like a very powerful or emphatic that they are not married at all. Innahunna sigarun. Indeed, they are young. Ba'duhunna. So here we will read it as ba'du. Why as ba'du? Because it's a subject. So ba'duhunna fil madrasati. Some of them are in the school. Al-ibtidayati, the primary. Ba'duhunna, and some of them fil madrasati al-mutawassitati, and some of them are in the secondary school. So here, as we can see that hunna is the subject, lasna is predicate, and when we say lasna mutazawwijat, so in lasna basically we have the hidden pronoun which is hunna. So that's why we will say that hunna is ismu lasna, and bimutazawwijatin will be khabaru lasna. Bilalun, Bilal, Alaka ikhwatun, do you have brothers? Hishamun, la laysa li. Okay, what will be the ending of ikhwa? Laysa li, ikhwa. Yes, any idea? Ikhwatun, right? Laysa li ikhwatun. I don't have brothers. Inna li thalatha akhawatin. Indeed, I have three sisters. Inna li thalatha akhawatin. Now here, thalatha is mansub. Why is that? Why is it mansub? Because it is ismu inna. Ismu inna. So we can see over here that ismu inna will always be mansub. It doesn't matter whatever the position of ismu inna is, it will be always mansub. We know that jar majroor, the prepositional phrase, normally comes ahead of the subject. And the reason why it comes ahead of the subject is for the purpose of emphasis. However, if it comes ahead of the subject for the purpose of emphasis, that doesn't mean that we have to change the case endings, or we have to change the i'rab, or we have to change the structure of the grammar. The grammatical structure will remain the same. So it's basically, if you read it like this, inna thalatha akhawatin li, then it will be easy for you to understand that inna thalatha akhawatin. So you will say that thalatha akhawatin ismu inna and li is khabaru inna. But when this jar majroor comes before the subject, then there is a small confusion. So that's why we need to be very careful about it. So he says inna li thalatha akhawatin. No, I don't have brothers. Indeed, I have three sisters. Bilal, Muslimatun hunna, are they Muslims? Hishamun, na'am, yes. Hunna muslimatun, they are Muslims. Walhamdulillah, and praise be to Allah. Alhamdulillah, we have completed the text of the lesson number 2. And when we meet again, we will inshallah do the exercises. Subhanaka Allahumma wa bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa ant astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.